Hi, I'm Jill, and we are going to be making something that we call Jilly Peppers today. This is my daughter Kim. She's going to be helping me do the work. And Jilly Peppers is just a little something that one night we were sitting around, we wanted some jalapeno poppers, and we didn't have any of the ingredients or know how to make them. And so, but I did have cream cheese and pepperoncinis. And so I just started cutting out the seeds out of the pepperoncinis and filling them with cream cheese. And they're delicious, and they're like a staple in every family gathering, isn't it? Yeah. Like, yeah, they don't care if I show up as long as my Jilly Peppers show up. And they're called Jilly Peppers because I'm Jill. So anyway, so Kimberly here is going to start with draining all of the juice off of these pepperoncinis.
Do we have a strainer?
So she's gonna strain off all that, put them in a bowl. So anyway, softened cream cheese in a Ziploc bag. We're gonna use this like a piping bag. We're gonna cut the corner of it off and pipe it into the pepperoncinis that have the top cut off and the seeds removed. If you want to have a little bit of spice, keep a little bit of the seeds in there. If you would rather just scoop with a spoon, you can slice the pepperoncinis down the side and just kind of scoop it in there and then fold them back up, whichever way you want to do it. But basically, you got to get the cream cheese inside the pepperoncinis, and that's a Jilly Pepper. So now we'll just do one jar at a time. So you can pour those into this bowl so you have something to work out of. Then we have a cutting board, a knife, like I said, softened cream cheese, and a Ziploc bag, and then something to plate them in once we're done. And that's going to be like this or whatever you got. Okay. Cut the tops. And do you want gloves, Kim?
Yeah, actually that might be a good idea because if I touch my eyes, it's over.
Yes, exactly. So I like to wear gloves. I've learned it the hard way. And your fingers turn kind of a green color on the tips. And two, you get pepperoncini juice underneath the nails. Here you go. Here you go. And it's just devastating if you touch your eyes and then you have green fingernails and green cuticles for days and days and days. So I use gloves, just disposable ones, whatever works.
Gordon Ramsay might judge my cutting skills.
Yeah. Okay, so Kimberly's gonna go through and she's gonna cut like the top off, and then and then you'll have that little seed bank thingy in there, and you just squish it from its little bottom and just kind of squish it out, and now you have an empty pepperoncini. Like I said, you could cut the tops off, you could split them open, dig the seeds out, have them open to be able to, but I do it like this, and then I use a piping bag to squish the cream cheese inside. So I will make about 2 jars of this, and these are the big jars. They're like Costco size jars. You can get 2 of them in a kit, or these I actually got at Winco or up in the Northwest region, so we have a Winco. And then I will get 2 jars of these, and usually I get about 4 cream cheese because I'd rather have too much than too little, and I can always use cream cheese later.
It would be convenient if we had, like, you know, the little metal things. I'm not quite sure what they're called. Are they piping something? Oh, you do have them.
I do have. I don't know if this is strong enough, though, because the cream cheese is really thick. The cream cheese will actually, you probably go through multiple Ziploc bags because the cream cheese is so thick that it sometimes blows out the side of the bag, depending on how softened it is. So you'll probably go through more than one Ziploc bag. Or you can use a piping bag if you're really skilled with that, and you can make it work, and it's really softened. You can do that. All right, so we went ahead and we did a second jar of pepperoncinis, and Kimberly is going through and just feverishly cutting them all up. And then after we got about halfway through, I was like, yeah, I actually prefer to use the jar that the pepperoncinis came out of, and then I just throw the whole thing away. So you don't actually need like a trash bowl for this. You just use a trash jar if you'd like. You do it. You do you. But that's what I like. That way I can just throw it away. So there we go. We have some cream cheese. So here we have the cream cheese in the bag. And one of the things I've done in the other videos is I like to use these little scrapers or whatever just to, as I'm working it, just kind of keep sliding it down to the corner. So I tried it when I initially put it in. I like to try to get it down into one of the corners. And then if you want, you can massage it, soften it, warm it up with your hands a little bit, and it just makes it a little bit easier. But try not to get it smushed too far around the bag, otherwise you just gotta push it back down into that corner.
Whoa.
Did you just get squirted in the face?
Almost.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't know where it went. No, yeah, I'm fine. I don't even think it hit me.
Anyway, all right. Kim's got all of that in her little, so we've got all of our stems and seeds in this jar. We're going to throw that away in the trash. We got cream cheese in a bag and a bowl full of pepperoncinis. So what Kim's going to do is she's going to, we're going to move this cutting board out of the way. She's going to cut the end of this piping bag or the Ziploc bag and use this like thing, and she's going to just squish them in and make them as cute as she can, and then put them in this little, so we're just going to cut like,
Plastic doesn't get in the bowl.
yeah. Just a little bit off the corner. Less is more because you don't want too much, and you want to be able to get down into the peppercini, and you can always make it bigger if it needs to, but see how it just squirts right out of there. So Kimberly is going to grab the pepperoncinis and just start filling them up. Okay. Let me get this up in here. Just filled it up. You can make it as pretty or as not pretty. Like I said, we don't do pretty because we ain't fancy. So we just make them full. Yeah, I know. That's the biggest struggle with making these, is that family members come by and eat more than you can produce. Kimberly's putting them in this little dish. So pretty. So she's going to go ahead and keep filling this up. Okay, so now it's getting down towards the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to just scrape. Which end has the hole? That end. Okay. So I'm just going to scrape all this goodness over without tearing the bag. Being slightly gentle, but not too crazy. All right, there you go. Here's your bag again, Kim. All right, so Kim has learned. How'd you do that?
Okay, if you twist it.
If you twist
I
it.
don't think you can really see. Wait, can you try that anyway? You kind of just. Woo.
Okay, so it looks like you're twisting the peppercini. Oh, and the bag at the same time. Twist the bag at the little end there.
Kind of like if you were putting frosting on a cupcake.
Yeah, okay. And she makes them super pretty that way. Her little dish is coming out so cute. All right, we're going to keep working. Okay, so Kimberly has finished stuffing all the pepperoncinis. We used 3 large jars and 3
Oh my boy.
and 3 packages of cream cheese. And this one apparently wasn't pretty enough for the dish.
Is there any other ones?
That's really good. And you can add stuff to the cream cheese if you want. You can add seasonings, herbs, jalapenos. You can add pickles. I mean, whatever you want, whatever flavors you like. It's really good. Uh-oh. There goes Dad's hand. See, I told you. You need to just put up 4 walls around this thing when you're trying to make them, because people just go by and swipe them. Anyway, here is the plate of Jilly Peppers. So good. 3 large jars, and by large I mean 32 ounce. 3 32-ounce jars and 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. We'll fill up a dish like this, in theory. It varies. Sometimes you get bigger pepperoncinis, sometimes you get smaller ones, sometimes it's easier to stuff them, sometimes it's, you gotta slice them open because they're too skinny. Sometimes they come in, they're more like a banana pepper shape than a peppercini with being fat. So anyway, so here we are. Thank you for following along, and go make some Jilly Peppers.